Good to be live. And Merry Christmas on this wonderful Christmas Eve. Feels like such a blessing that the episode has landed on Christmas Eve for us to be together, so I feel very blessed about that, to be able to do this. Just take a moment out of what's been going on maybe for you and to come back to ourselves. That's what I've just been doing. I mean, I cooked the turkey this morning. That was a lot of fun. Well, just preparing it, ready to cook for tomorrow. And we're preparing the studio ready for the online event, the free event that's coming up. So there's been much going on today. And I've just been sat here for the last half an hour, just meditating. So it's been very nice just to be really peaceful. Yeah, and it's interesting, the subject for today was the changeless reality. And just thinking, you know, this time of year, Christmas can bring up so much. A lot of changes happen. A lot happens over Christmas. But yet the mind never changes. And so that's what I want to remember in any given moment. That I can choose peace above everything else. And in a way, this time of year is a huge symbol of that. Is that remembering the Christ within, the light within. That's what this time's all about. Yeah, somehow it's just a deepening in the realization of truth. And that's really what this time of year really sort of symbolizes for us. The beauty within us. So that's what we want to remember. That's what I want to remember. And as we come to the end of the year, it feels like just strengthening that prayer in our heart as to what we want. So we go forward with that strength and that power in our minds. And that's definitely what I want. You know, and it's been interesting because this year for many has been an interesting year, a different year. But yet has it really? I think it's more of a letting go of the old. We're coming into something very, very new that's been there all the time for us. And I think it's just showing us that this world will never ever serve us in the way that we want it to. And so we're now even more so wanting something much deeper, a richer connection. Is the sound not so good? Yeah, we want a deeper connection. So I feel like this time is a deep prayer. I feel like this time is to really pray together as to what's going on for ourselves. Yeah, so it feels like I feel excited actually. I feel like we have I just feel excited about what's been happening. I feel like it was a good year. You know, what's just happened. It's all perfect. And it is really a time to really rely on our source, because there is nothing else going on. Yeah, there's nothing else going on. Yeah, and that's why we have to change our mind and be true to what we're doing, to stay in that strength. And to see this guiltless reality, because that's what I truly want. The reflection of the real world. Because yeah, if you're stuck in this world, you are going to see destructiveness. This world is falling apart. There is nothing here for you whatsoever. The material is just disintegrating. And it's just a hallucination in front of your very eyes. And it's mesmerizing you into believing that it's true. And so somehow, you know, they said 2020 was the 2020 vision, but somehow I feel like that's what we're coming into now. We're coming into this true vision. And so yeah, if you're believing in the world, you're going to be seeing death, decay, slaughter, hatred. And yeah, if you stay there, it's a pretty sick world in which we live in. But that's actually that the wall's been pulled over our eyes. And that's not the truth. And so that's what we want. This is why our prayer has to be stronger, has to be deeper. And to know that nothing can truly, what's of the spirit can never be lost or left. That's why we practice our spiritual path, is to recognize this oneness, this ultimate reality. And so this is why we are doing this, to come into this strength. Of that really nothing's changing, and I love that I'm taking A Course in Miracles very seriously, and even though, you know, I don't understand it, because it's to be experienced. It's like, okay, when he talks to me about the changeless reality, and that You want to see everyone as sinless, everyone as guiltless, everything as being completely and utterly perfect. And that this veil is just covering over what the truth is, then, and there's something beyond all of that that never changes, that is always loving, that is always loving us, that is always peaceful, that is our natural inheritance, where loneliness does not exist, but only joy is our truth. And it's like, yeah, well, if that's what's being offered, that's definitely not what's being offered on earth. And that's not definitely what's not being offered to a body identity that is seemingly getting older, sick, and will eventually die. And so that is really what A Course in Miracles is teaching, is that actually is not the truth of what you are. The body form identity is just the same as anything else. It is part of an hallucination, and has become very, very thick and seems like it's very, very real. And of course, if we're still believing in the body, then that's where we're at. And that's why we have these talks together, to continuously loosen from that. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. I'm being told that I am not this body incarnation. I'm being told that I am much more than that. And so it's like, okay, great. I seemingly find myself in this body. I seemingly find myself talking and doing things. How can I use everything to the best of my ability to understand the truth, to understand this changeless reality of really what Jesus talks about now? It's nothing really new about the message. The message is always the same. The message never changes. And so it's now more than ever like really, really moving in this direction. And so it's like we have to recognize where our heart is at, and how and what am I using up my time for the spirit, for enlightenment, or am I using it for to increase an idea of a body, which is really what the world is. Without the body, there is no world. They keep each other joined together in the material. And so that's why Jesus in A Course in Miracles is very keen on letting us know that you're not a body, and that this material world will never ever sustain you, and wants to offer us the gift of what will sustain us. And so if you followed any other spiritual practices, any authentic path says exactly the same thing. That there is a truth behind everything, that there is a love behind everything. But if you're getting caught up and you're getting stuck in form, then yeah, you're pretty much in hell. You are in hell. This is hell. The material is hell. And yet we have all these beautiful symbols to remind us that this isn't the truth. And that's why, days like this, seemingly, we call it Christmas Eve. And this is a beautiful time when many people are remembering Jesus. As he says, I was a body, and I realised that I am not a body, and became part of the whole. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. That's the beautiful journey, and that's why we all love this story, don't we? Told for thousands of years around the world, and now we're coming to the birth. This is the birth of Christ, the birth of the light within. And so, of course, in the Bible, a lot of it was metaphorical and just had some poor translations from the true meaning of what all of this really meant. And to have a an enlightened master, born in a stable, is just a symbol that anybody can wake up to our true reality. That he was born in a stable, he wasn't born in a palace. There was nothing special about the circumstance in where he was. In fact, it was a very difficult place, amongst the animals. There was nowhere else for him to go. So it was almost sort of, it was the last resort. And yet a saviour was born. And that just symbolises, there's nothing really special about that birth. That is the birth in you. That is a metaphor to remember that is completely and utterly within your reach. Why he rode on donkeys and not on horses, and things like this in many of the parables, to symbolise how normal he is, and that it all comes back to you really, and saying that there's no reason why you cannot have this. And of course that's what the Course in Miracles is teaching us. The bottom line is it's so simple and it's already available, and it's just whenever you want it. It's like turning over the TV. It's exactly the same thing. When you're ready to turn on the frequency, when you're ready to turn over the TV, you will have a new screen. And so until that time, you'll be stuck with this seeming reality, but it's literally just a flick of the switch. There's nothing special about it whatsoever. And it's completely and utterly for everyone. There are no special ones. That, of course, the ego, that's what the ego wants to make this out to be, that there's the special ones that can wake up and there's special circumstances. And yet there are no special circumstances. It's actually you. And your circumstance is perfect right now. Exactly the same of what it was is for Jesus. It was the perfect time. And he had to overcome his ego self to remember his true nature. And so that's why we have this beautiful, beautiful story to help us along the way. And just another thing, for example, they say in the Bible that a terrible misquote was pretty much throughout the whole of the Bible. It says, "Follow me." And they say, well, actually, now we know actually that's probably not the best translation. It's not actually "follow me." Is the best translation apparently of that is "be me." So he wasn't asking anybody to follow him around and all of these things in time and space. It was "be me, you are me." There is nothing different between us whatsoever. And that was his real teaching, to be me. Perfectly whole. And so that's why we take this deeply in our heart. I mean, when you hear that, if you look at it, "follow me," I thought that is like, we often don't like to follow. Why would I want to follow someone? Or it feels like, if I'm following, where am I following to? And how long? How on earth? How long is this going to take? How long then have I got to follow you for? So following is like is on the timeline, isn't it? Follow me. Okay, so where is all this going? And that keeps it going as a journey, follow me. Whereas when that shifted for me, when I found out about this, through, you know, obviously the ages of us studying this and the transcripts and everything like that, to actually be me is here and now. And that's why he could look at people in the eyes and raise the dead and heal the sick, because he never saw the decay of this world. He was no longer caught up in these ideas of cause and effect. They were not affecting him any longer. And so from the truth of his being, he could arise. He could allow people to arise, and for sickness just to completely and utterly disappear, because he didn't believe in it, because he only believes in spirit. And he fully realized that he is spirit, completely and utterly, and completely and utterly overcome the body. And so, of course, you know, we know all these stories, and now this time of the year is just to take this deep in our heart, like, wow, this is for all of us. This is our celebration in the light of who we are. And it's like, wow, just thank you so much for this metaphorical story, because of course, as Jesus well found out, you know, we have to find out for ourselves, but he found out, no, I never was a body, so there never was a resurrection, because a resurrection would mean that something would have to shift. But he completely and utterly realized that he actually was not a body. He believed that he was a body, yes, but yet then he transcended that and realized that none of that journey or anything meant absolutely anything. He was completely and utterly hallucinating. And so now that's why we have a perfect guide like that. The star in the sky that's guiding us, that's leading us back to ourselves. And so I just feel very blessed. I mean, I had to go down to Walmart this morning to get a few bits for the Christmas dinner, and I was just my mind just went onto the episode, and I just thought, oh Jesus, how blessed am I to be doing my episode today on Christmas Eve with you. I mean, wow, what a gift that is. And I just was saying to him, like, thank you so much, like, for honoring me to talk today. It feels like such a blessing, and yeah, it just feels like such an honor for me. Like, wow, thank you. 24th of December, what a beautiful day to do this on. It just happens that the 24th is a Thursday, and that's when the episode comes around, and it's just filling my heart with joy. It's just thank you for that. Thank you for everything. And that's how I wake up every morning. You know, I do my normal meditation, and then after that, I'm just being thankful for my Father. I just sit there and say, wow, thank you so much. And of course, I have messages coming through this morning, Christmas messages and things, and I'm just being completely and utterly blessed. And so that's really why we really do want to leave this world in our minds. And of course, if as many of you have been following along every Thursday, the behind what these episodes are is, you know, lesson 128. The world I see holds nothing that I want. That's what really the foundation of all of these episodes are. That's what these deep teachings are. That there is nothing here for you, and it's like then we don't want to be left in that, and that there is something calling us to a great depth, to a great understanding of ourselves. And so now we get to celebrate that together on the 24th of December. So I just feel so deeply grateful for this opportunity to be with Jesus in this, and to just cheer each other on, and just to celebrate this wonderful time, and to really pray for that light within, to have that light shine in our minds where it's always been, shining bright. So yeah, I just feel so blessed for my master that came and saved me and showed me the way, and is always guiding me, whether I know it or not. And yeah, it's like getting into that real understanding of Christ Mass, the celebration of Christ within. And just being so thankful that this is what brings us all together. In our hearts, in our minds, in our souls, and will never ever leave us. And so that's definitely part of my prayer. And I actually feel that, like, you know, this next year that's coming, I feel it's the year of letting go of judgment. And of course, that's what Jesus says enlightenment is. Enlightenment is but the relinquishment of judgment. And I feel that, like, that's what we've moved into. It's like we've just had this last year, and it's like a lot of judgments can come up about what's happening with governments, with these seeming outside forces making decisions for us, and all these things that we seeming believe in. And it's like these judgments have had to come to the surface. And where does it get us? Where does it get us? None of these judgments truly mean anything. We are making it up. We are wanting to see it, and therefore you see it. You want to judge, you perceive your own judgments, and that's what you're actually seeing. And so everything that's just happened is a representation of your own mind. That's why you cannot be a victim of it. You generated it in your own mind as a hallucination, as a mirage. And so the ego is this judging machine that wants to make this reality real, this seeming material reality real. And it just wants to keep perpetuating these judgments of what's right and what's wrong. And it's like, it's time really now to let go of what we think is right and what we think is wrong. And somehow I just feel like there's this strength of, like, the past is literally going, you know, whatever that is that's gripping us to this seeming past is like just melting away bit by bit by bit. And that's what I can feel for myself as I move in this direction. It's like these past ways are just not relevant any longer. And that there is a new way to relating to everything. And so that's what I really feel in my heart. I feel this is going to be a huge year for us all. And it's the relinquishment of judgment. That the mind will be changed. And there will be something new is going to be revealed to us. And that is available now. So it's actually that we're not waiting on something. It is down to readiness, and it is down to willingness. That is true, and that is a choice. And so it's really a matter of choosing this. And so that's why I sit here in my deepest prayer for this, and I feel this, that it is truly the relinquishment of judgment. And I wanted to read something to you actually from A Course in Miracles that I found. It's from The Final Vision which is chapter 31. And the section that I'm reading is the simplicity of salvation, which is the first section of chapter 31, the final vision, the simplicity of salvation. And it feels like a prayer, actually, a prayer that Jesus has given to us all, and has given to me this morning. And I feel very blessed to be able to share this with you. Let us be still an instant and forget all things we ever learned, all thoughts we had, and every preconception that we hold of what things mean and what their purpose is. Let us remember not our own ideas of what the world is for. We do not know. Let every image held of everyone be loosened from our minds and swept away. Be innocent of judgment, unaware of any thoughts of evil or of good that ever crossed your mind of anyone. Now do you know him not, but you are free to learn of him and learn of him anew. Now is he born again to you, and you are born again to him. Now is he free to live as you are free, because an ancient learning passed away and left a place for truth to be reborn. And that just feels like a beautiful Christmas message for us all. And that's definitely my prayer. To let go of everything I thought I knew, the good and the bad, and allow the truth to be revealed. To see our brothers anew, to see them for who they truly are, and not the idea that we've made up about them, the idea that we have about them, the past that we hold against everyone and everything, and yet we let go of both. Letting go of all of our ideas, knowing that we cannot judge the good and we cannot judge the bad, that we cannot judge at all. and just in every moment paying close attention to this. So that we can see in truth and be reborn again. Yes, so thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's such a pleasure. And just a reminder that we have the celebration of illumination coming up, starting on the 28th of December. And so we have 4 free days in which you can join in on through Zoom. And they're going to be very, very full days with some very beautiful things happening. So I highly recommend that you join us there. And my episode will be a part of that. And so next Thursday has landed on the 31st of December, which is New Year's Eve. And so I'll be broadcasting again on New Year's Eve. So that feels like a blessing to see what's going to happen there for us all. The final celebrations of 2020, and as we move into 2021. So very much looking forward to that. And that will be at a different time. Currently, it's going to be set at an hour later than what the show is now for you. But I will post that on Facebook. So you can follow me there. And you can message me there if you want more details. And once I have more details, I will post the specifics for everyone. I'm not sure if it's going to be going up on YouTube yet. It might be. I will upload it to YouTube though. But it might not be live on YouTube, but I will definitely be live in Zoom next Thursday. And that's an hour earlier than what we are now. And also that there's some very, very exciting news that I'm not going to share with you yet, but there's big shifts and new things coming in. There's going to be some new exciting things happening that I'm going to be doing, which I think everybody's going to be really, really excited about. So there's going to be some new and exciting things, more creativity happening. And yeah, that's what I just felt. I felt like it's like, as well actually, it's just reminding me that it's like now, it's like this free expression wants to come through. And that I think my encouraging message is that everybody, you all have gifts. Everybody has gifts. And, you know, don't let this unworthiness get in the way of your gifts. You know, I never felt like I could actually speak to people in the way that I do in this. I was completely and utterly petrified, and yet here I am every Thursday doing this. And so you all have beautiful gifts to offer the world, to encourage the world, to wake up and to remember the truth. And so this is nothing special that I'm doing by sitting here. I'm just following my calling. And if people like what I've got to say, that's beautiful. And if not, that's wonderful too. And that you have this, but you have this gift to share, and you have your light to shine. We all have our light to shine. And so I feel like that's what the encouragement is to step out of this comfort zone and to really share who you truly are. So yeah, many blessings everyone. Happy Christmas. And I very much look forward to seeing you for New Year's Eve. Yeah. And as always, let's expect miracles. Much love, much peace, and much joy. Bye for now.